All right, y'all, we are back with another video. I definitely had to bring y'all this one. And now I showed y'all a video yesterday of Jasmine Crockett. She is crying. She's blaming white people. She's blaming President Trump. And not only that, blaming her own party and stuff like that, saying, oh, well, I lost the race because I'm a black woman and white people is racist. So it's funny to me that she lost to Talarico, which I told you I don't know anything about that guy, but a lot of y'all was telling me he just as worse as Jasmine Crockett. So Jasmine Crockett loses to another Democrat and then get on camera and say it's President Trump's fault that she lost. It's Republicans' fault that she lost. When she lost to another Democrat, what do Republicans have to do with you losing to another Democrat? It just don't make sense at all. And then now you got a lot of, like I said, a lot of black women that's getting online. They pissed off, you know, trying to fend for Jasmine Crockett. Oh, white people is racist. They wouldn't, they didn't want to vote her in because she's black. And it's just all type of stuff. The part that gets me is that Jasmine Crockett is hollering racism and talking about Republicans cheated. But yet these are the same people that said Donald Trump wouldn't accept the 2020 election results. How many times did we hear them say, Donald Trump, why you won't accept the results that you lost? Why you won't accept? But President Trump got proof behind here that they cheated. He got proof. So you telling me they got mad when President Trump was defending himself over there, but now Jasmine Crockett can come out and not accept the results that she lost, but she get to run around and say, I didn't lose, they just cheated me. They cheated me. And not only that, we remember when President Trump's called for Ilhan Omar and Rashida Tlaib to be deported as soon as possible. Even Nancy Mace came out and said that she's about to get deported. So it's just a lot going on. The Democrat Party is just in shambles right now. So we're about to get straight into it. Please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Shout out to everybody showing so much support. And shout out to the one that always watches their entire video. I appreciate all of you, especially the one that always stay to the end. So please let me know that you did stay to the end of the video in the comment section. So let's go ahead and dive straight into this. Now, before we get into Jasmine Crockett, let's jump into Ilhan Omar real quick, and then we're going to get into Jasmine Crockett crying and all of that. So it's a Trump calls for low IQ Ilhan Omar and Rashida Tlaib to be deported after disrupting his State of the Union speech. And so President Trump did double back. He said, when you watch low IQ Ilhan Omar and Rashida Tlaib as they scream uncontrollably last night at the very elegant State of the Union, such an important and beautiful event, they had the budging, bloodshot eyes of crazy people, lunatics, mentally deranged and sick, who frankly look like they should be institutionalized. When people can behave like that and knowing that they are crooked and corrupt politicians so bad for our country, we should send them back from where they came as fast as possible. They can only damage the United States of America. They can do nothing to help it. They should actually get on a boat with Trump deranged Robert De Niro, another sick and demented person with, I believe, an extremely low IQ, who has absolutely no idea what he is doing or saying, some of which is seriously criminal. When I watched him break down in tears last night, much like a child would do, I realized that he may be even sicker than crazy Rosie O'Donnell, who is right now in Ireland just trying to figure out how to come back into our beautiful United States. The only difference between De Niro and Rosie is that she probably is somewhere smarter than him, which isn't saying much. The good news is that America is not bigger, better, richer, and stronger than ever before. And it's driving them absolutely crazy, President Donald J. Trump. Now, that what President Trump said the other day, and then he did come back out and say that they are now working on deporting her. I see Randy Fine saying that they is sending her deportation papers. So, and then, like I say, even Nancy Mace, came out, and said some things. But before we get into that, just listen to how she be talking. This woman is still mad. And by the way, it's another reason why she's in trouble. It's more than just how did her net worth get to $30 million. Don't you know she was the one who leaked the military plans, pretty much letting Iran know what President Trump was about to do 2 days before it happened. And a lot of people said that is treason. She should be locked up for that. I showed y'all the tweet in the other video that she leaked the plans. And then they be like, well, why Donald Trump don't ever let us know anything before he do something? Why would he? Y'all, this woman just leaked the U.S. military plans 2 days before it happened, before President Trump bombed Iran. She leaked it. And then y'all wonder why he don't tell y'all anything. Because he know if he tell y'all, y'all just gonna get on social media and blur it out and tell the whole world, just like she just did. So it says Somali Third World Ilhan Omar is opposing Operation Epicure because why wouldn't she? When do we get to see this woman on her way back to where she belongs? Just look at how she be talking.
Dragging this nation into an illegal and unjustified war with Iran. As someone who survived the horrors of war, I know that bombs do not build peace or create stability. Military strikes will not make us safer. They will inflame tensions and push the region further into chaos.
So when Obama bombed Libya, where was y'all? When he did it for 7 months. Look what Obama did. He didn't get y'all approval. He just did it. Hakeem Jeffries, I mean, it's just the hypocrisy of these Democrats. When Donald Trump do something, it's a problem. But when Barack Obama bombed countries, it was okay. So I guess it's all about who we like.
Every time we abandon diplomacy, we choose destruction. We know who will bear the costs of this decision. Innocent civilians caught in the crossfire and young service members sent into harm's way. The American people are exhausted by endless wars built on false promises and paid for with American and foreign lives. Congress must reassert its constitutional authority. I urge my colleagues to vote yes to stop U.S. involvement in another illegal forever war. Thank you, and I yield back.
This woman is a piece of crap, man. Won't you yield back to Somali? Won't you do that? Instead of yelling, won't you yield back to Somali? Nobody's going to listen to you. You hate the United States. You only using your position for your Somali people. You already admitted it on camera. Who is going to listen to you? Nobody. And let me just show y'all how this woman would sit up here and lie in your face when we got internet. So every time you post something, it's there forever, especially when you well known. And I want y'all to see how she like her. Y'all remember I showed y'all a video months ago when she said that we should be more fearful of white men because they the cause of the most deaths that's in this country. So this reporter pretty much tells her, hey, Omar, Ilhan, you know you did say that we should be more fearful of white men. And then Ilhan Omar said, I never said that. Check this out.
You were just talking about how Trump's economy has failed the American people, but I think the American people really want to know how you went from a negative 65,000 before coming into Congress to over $30 million in just 7 years.
My disclosure is public now.
Yeah, it is. And so a lot of people now are looking into that and finding S. Crew Winery, a winery that doesn't actually seem to exist. Is that a real winery, or?
Do you all actually look at and read things, or do you just ask silly questions?
Well, it's listed in the financial disclosure, so can you explain it? Because we have a lot of questions about it, and things just aren't adding up. There's no real phone number. There's no real location.
Why did you want to buy some wine?
Probably not from you, to be honest. Recently stated that the American people should be afraid of the white man. They should be fearful of the white man.
I never said that.
She said, I never said that. Listen to what the reporter had and just go to show you if she wouldn't even tell the truth about this. Knowing that we got the video, which the young lady finna go ahead and play.
Of the white man.
I never said that.
Yeah, you're on video saying it.
Our country should be more fearful of white men across our country because they are actually causing most of the deaths within this country. No, I did not.
Yes, you.
And she's still saying she didn't say it. And she just played the clip of her actually saying it.
Again, this is like what I said. You need to prepare yourself because you can't continue embarrassing yourself like this.
So I'm just a liar.
What I was quoting was an actual study done by the FBI.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, this woman is a freaking liar, man. All she do is lie. So let's check out Nancy Mace even talking about this because that's what I'm telling y'all. Like, this deportation stuff is heating up. Like I said before, it's starting to grow some legs.
Donald Trump, the great liberator of women around the world. You're making a very important point. And here's a woman in Congress you serve with, Ilhan Omar, responding to you on X saying, I hope you aren't drunk, and took your staff's advice. Rashida and I, Tlaib, of course, don't know this man and feel confident he didn't care about us. Please refrain from drinking too much. As you've been warned from your staff, stay off social media. I don't know what she's talking about, but I pray in this holy month you find peace and respect for yourself. I think she had lashed out at the idea that the president moved forward with this because as I understand it, there was intelligence saying there was a target of opportunity to take out the Ayatollah and other leaders. She's complaining that the attack came during Ramadan. And Rashida Tlaib, by the way, is attacking both the United States and Israel, another member of the squad. And
oh, they do not care about this country at all, man. They just don't. You got the Iranian people, like, they are happy. They was celebrating. They was crying. They was thanking President Trump. And the only people mad is the Democrats.
Saying they shouldn't have done this, as if the U.S. is a foreign country to her. Could you unpack some of that?
Well, I don't give a damn if it's Ramadan. I don't care if Muslims are fasting right now. This was the right time with the right intel, the right president to go in there and do this, and he'll have his chance to explain it, or his secretaries to Congress. And she was also responding because I was complaining about that. Where was she when Jews were slaughtered? Over 1,000 Jews were slaughtered in Israel by Hamas, by Palestinians on a Jewish holiday. I don't remember her complaining about that. And when she said that very defamatory statement about me, in the middle of the night, by the way, what was she doing in the middle of the night? But I asked her what it was like to be married to your brother. I mean, like, she has no room to attack anyone on any issue, quite frankly. And I'm ready to denaturalize and deport her to Somalia.
She ready to denaturalize her and deport her to Somalia. That's why I say, cause even Randy Fine just said this the other day, that that's what they working on, and they done sent her papers. And now you got Nancy Mace saying, hey, I'm ready to do it now. So that's why I said that you heard what President Trump said. So it's looking bad.
There you go. You've
looking bad for old Ilhan Omar. So she about done. So like I said, let's go ahead and dive straight into old Jasmine Crockett of you know what. Now here go like a lot of women and black people, like they crying, they mad. Oh well, they didn't vote for Jasmine Crockett because she's black and because it is and because of that. But yet they won't say it was her attitude. Nobody took Jasmine Crockett serious. She is ghetto. She is loud. What does she know? What does she always do? Calling Donald Trump Hitler and all it is. Wishing death on President Trump. The same thing Ilhan Omar been doing. Wishing death on President Trump. Ilhan Omar just said something the other day. I'm not even going to repeat what she said. But she was wishing death on President Trump. And we done heard Jasmine Crockett do it as well. And Jasmine Crockett is still been doing it. And now that she lost, and now that she's pretty much kicked out of Congress now because she had to give up her seat to run for Senate, and now she lost that and blaming white people and blaming Republicans and blaming President Trump that she lost when she lost to another Democrat. She wasn't even running against a Republican. She ran against another Democrat and still said that, and still blaming white liberals and blaming President Trump and Republicans because she lost. It's ridiculous. Let's check this out.
Oh, God, I gotta wipe my face in a minute. But I'm gonna let myself feel it. I'm giving myself grace. I'm learning grace. Because as a black woman, we don't get that.
Oh my God, bro.
But it's extremely hard to continue to feel like this. Michelle Obama said something. And she said, I would never run. Because y'all are not going to be ready for a black woman. And as somebody who continues to push, like, I have the degrees, I have all the accolades, I could do the job, and I continue to be disrespected, I see why. Because who wants to put themselves in that predicament for people who don't give a fuck? It's so hard. Why would I vote for James Talarico, a white man, when I live in Harris County, and we are the highest county for black maternal death rate? What the fuck that white man gonna do for us? Not a damn.
Hell, what Jasmine Crockett gonna do for y'all? She ain't gonna do just be loud and scream. What is she gonna do? Like I said, both of them, like I said, because I don't know anything about this Talarico guy, but like I said, what I've been reading is that this guy, I don't know, man, he just as dumb and stupid as Jasmine Crockett. But with Jasmine Crockett losing now, y'all, but this is crazy, man. Look how these people are acting.
Fake.
Y'all said that we played identity politics, but yet you went with the candidate with the least credentials. You went with the candidate with the right complexion and the less qualifications. Well, you said that maybe only a white person can win Texas. Well, now you have the opportunity to test your theory. And rather than playing in black folks' faces with disgusting comments like this, why aren't you taking all this energy to prop up your candidate like we wanted you to do from the beginning? Notice that every video before the very end, I said that both candidates are great candidates for Texas and would be better than Cornyn and Paxton. It wasn't until you guys started going negative against Jasmine Crockett, spreading lies about AIPAC and Israel, calling her ghetto, saying she's too aggressive.
You don't think she ghetto? You telling me that you don't, the way that Jasmine Crockett talk, because I've been in the hood, I know exactly what ghetto is, sir. All that loudness, that screaming, and bruh. And this is the problem why people like Jasmine Crockett will continue to lose. Y'all just don't keep it real with her. Y'all won't tell her when she's wrong. It's all because you just want to vote for her because of her skin color. I don't look at stuff like that. I look at your actions. How do you act? Is you really going to help me? Just because you're the same skin color as me it doesn't mean that you're going to help me. I don't care anything about that. I'm going by your actions. How do you act and stuff like that? And this is what y'all crazy, man.
Aggressive.
I vote for James Talarico. It doesn't matter to me, white man versus black woman. Whereas James Talarico has a bit more of a softer tone.
Y'all have the need to try to humble black people, and I don't know what the fuck we did to y'all, but just exist.
Oh,
it's interesting that y'all love us, and y'all love our tactics, and you love our colorful personality when we're advocating behind the white candidate.
And that's the reason why Democrats let Jasmine Crockett go out there when she was all loud. She go to CNN, she's screaming, Donald Trump this, Donald Trump that, white people this, white people that. Everything she do is about race. That's all she do is race bait. That's all she do. Every time she lose something, what do Jasmine Crockett say? Well, I only lost because I'm black. But when she win, it's good. It's good when she win. But every time she lose, no matter what it is, I can get away from that chair and race Jasmine Crockett to the refrigerator. She gonna say, and if I win, she gonna say she lost because of racism. I'm telling you, that's all she do.
But when we start advocating for ourselves, it becomes a problem. And
man, y'all are ridiculous, man. This right here just don't make no sense at all. So, I mean, come on, man.
All of the coverage around the race where it talked about this being a fight for the soul of the Democratic Party and the future of the Democratic Party. What direction are we going to go in? Are we going to go in the direction of identity politics, or are we going to go in the direction of the quiet white boy? And y'all said, challenge accepted, bitch. We're going to pack her black ass up and let these motherfuckers know that the future of the Democratic Party is white. And I love that y'all stood on business, because it took double the amount of votes that any prior winning Democratic primary candidate received in order to beat Jasmine Crockett. Just to be very clear, Jasmine Crockett was not some sort of niche candidate. She got 1 million votes in this primary. Clearly, it took a lot to beat her. And to some degree, we do have to give James Talarico and his voters credit for that. And so, guess what this means, guys? The baton is passed to you. Because remember that the theory of the race was that James Talarico needed to be the nominee because he's the only one that can get the white votes. And he was going to convert the voters. And Jasmine Crockett didn't want to even bother to get Republican voters. So y'all got some work to do. You need to be going to some honky tonks, some gun ranges, some hoedowns, some barns. Y'all need to be out there pounding the pavement. Get out of black folks' comments on social media, camped out there, because Talarico is going to make whites Democrats again.
Boy, I'm telling you, and like I said before, it get even worse. It's just all this race baiting stuff, man, and it's crazy. Look at this woman right here. Look at Jamel Hill. And like I said before, all they've been doing is just crying, oh, she lost because of the white liberals and this and that. And they just won't say, well, she just lost. But like I said before, I'm going to remind y'all again, when President Trump lost and he said that they cheated him, which they did, they kept saying, why would he not accept the election results? That went on for the longest. Donald Trump, why you won't accept that you lost? Donald Trump, why you won't accept that you lost? But look at Jasmine Crockett out here crying and blaming Republicans and blaming white people. Then you still got people right here, Jamel Hill, that's up here saying the same thing.
We need a fighter. And I was so ready to vote for Jasmine Crockett because I love her. But I voted for Talarico because we need somebody who can win.
I'm voting for Talarico because we need somebody who could win. And my next question, and maybe this question was asked, I mean, that was just a small snippet. This next question would have been, if you hold up James Talarico and Jasmine Crockett, and you just put forth their records and put forth their, I would say they're not their records, if you put forth their policy stances, where they, you know, whatever issue it is, put them forth, and you remove you remove them and you don't know who had what position. If you did like basically a Pepsi taste test with both of them, they're literally identical.
What the world is she talking about?
Was very much on the ballot. And that woman there that I just played, to her, when she said we need somebody who can win, we knew exactly what she was talking about. You needed a white man.
Oh,
because you
my
feel
God,
like
bruh.
You're thinking of the white voters out there, and even some.
So you see what I'm talking about? We needed the white man. It's just all about race with them. See, here's the difference. Look at the difference between a Jasmine Crockett and a Byron Donalds. Do you hear Byron Donalds talking like this? If Byron Donalds lose, he's not going to get on camera and say, well, I lost because of racism. Byron Donalds don't do that at all. And you will see the difference. He don't do nothing like that. It's just only Jasmine Crockett and y'all trying to make excuses for her because she lost and want to say, oh, well, she lost because the white people just wanted the white man. So it's, man.
Some of the ones that are not white. And you're saying to yourself, nobody gets it done like a white man. So identity matters. It matters a lot. And while people will say and tell you that, oh, I vote on policy, you don't. You do not. Because if you voted on policy, then you wouldn't have allowed an issue. And I'm going to just go ahead and say it. You had a lot of people who've never played college sports, who don't have any children in school, who don't have any women competing in sports, purely voting for Donald Trump because of this overblown issue of trans women in sports. The NCAA has less than 10 trans athletes, and they won't say if they're trans women or trans men. And you had a whole lot of people voting on just that. That had nothing to do with policy. That had everything to do with how you feel about trans people in this country.
Well, this is ridiculous. So you see all the excuses that they making and stuff like that. And it's just ridiculous. Look at this. Here go Jasmine Crockett right here. Look at just listen to what she's saying right here.
Already stated, we encourage each and every one of you to remain resilient. We cannot allow this type of behavior to be rewarded, because so long as they know that they can win, even if it means cheating, then they will continue to do it.
That's crazy.
So I am asking you, I am begging you to make sure that you go ahead and figure out where it is that you are supposed to vote. Stand in line, wait and already state.
Wait in line, stand in line. This is where she knew it was already about over right here.
State. We don't have any of the results because there was a lot of confusion today. And so, you know, our Democratic Party chair, Cardall Coleman, he beat me to the punch, as myself and Colin all read. We're about to file a lawsuit to keep the voting polls open. We were able to keep the polls open, but I can tell you now that people have been disenfranchised. The reason that we knew that there were problems is because we were receiving the phone calls and the emails. The polls were supposed to stay open until 9, according to a court order. The Supreme Court, just a few minutes ago, just said, shut it down. The Supreme Court also said that they are to separate any votes out that came in after 7 p.m. So here's the deal. I have no idea how it is that clerks are going to know who was in line by what time, because the rule is that if you're in line by 7, then you get to vote. And so once there was a court order saying you had until 9, I'm sure that there were people that joined the line after 7. They now are telling them that you have to separate the votes out. What this means is that we will not know what votes are to be tallied from Election Day out of Dallas County for sure we won't know that tonight. So knowing that Dallas County is a big dump of votes, we, in my opinion, will not know the election results overall tonight. We need to see the Dallas County votes to see where they are. I mean, if the early vote comes in, which we may have the early vote soon, if it comes in and I'm losing Dallas County, then we know kind of where this thing is going. So, so that's my news, is that we're not going to have election results tonight, in my opinion, based upon what specifically is taking place in Dallas County. Unfortunately, this is what Republicans like to do.
Oh my God.
And so they specifically targeted Dallas County.
Oh my God.
I think we all know why. So,
so here she go, blaming Republicans right here. Blaming Republicans. We know why. We know that they did. Like, she lost to another Democrat and sitting up here trying to blame Republicans for it. And this woman summed it up pretty good right here.
Jasmine Crockett, is her political career coming to an end? She lost the Democratic Senate primary race as she gave up her seat as a congresswoman to run for a senator in the state of Texas. She did not take this easily as she left her campaign party crying and saying that they cheated. Jasmine Crockett, the woman who claims voter fraud is a conspiracy theory, is now saying that the Democrats cheated in this primary election, and she's saying that the Republicans rigged the election in the area where a lot of Black people would be voting. She left her campaign party crying and saying that they cheated and this was their plan all along. And she said, "We cannot allow this type of behavior to be rewarded." Jasmine, perhaps you lost this on your own with your sassy-massy attitude. Perhaps the people of Texas were a little bit embarrassed of you. Person who runs a campaign literally calling people names, calling people the R word, calling people Nazis, calling out President Trump, even saying bad things about your governor.
Yep.
Perhaps the people in Texas didn't like that as you pranced around the halls of Washington, D.C., acting like you were sassy-massy. Perhaps the people in Texas wanted someone a little bit more mature. I don't think people cheated. I don't think this election was rigged. I think Jasmine Crockett did this to herself. Do you think Jasmine Crockett's political career is over? Let me know your thoughts.
Exactly. And she summed it up really good. It's that sassy attitude. And when I think she said that the governor was like riding on Hot Wheels or something like that. It's just all the stuff that comes out of her mouth, man. And I told you, she constantly called President Trump a racist, a Nazi. He's Hitler. He's this. He's that. Every single day. Her and Ilhan Omar. So like I said, man, thank you all for watching. Y'all get in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think about this. And like I said, I will keep y'all up to date as more information comes out. And I'll catch y'all in the next one.